Hello everybody, Bitcoin keeps pumping in this pattern that we have been pointing out, and in today's video guys I want to have a talk a little bit again about this pattern, what I expect with Bitcoin, what we are seeing in the S&P 500, how could that affect Bitcoin, and we are going to have a look at what's going on over at whaleportal. So guys, let's jump straight into it. Before we are jumping into it, of course, smash up that like button. That is very much appreciated, and thank you for all the comments I got on yesterday's video from the calls that we made over on whaleportal. Very important video, and we got some new signups after that, so welcome to WhaleAlerts for those who are new. Also, I've been announcing in that video yesterday that I'm going to give away one cryptocurrency trading course at the end of this week to one comment below these videos which are being created this week. So one comment below the video during this week will win that cryptocurrency trading course. And yeah guys, I just want to stimulate you guys a little bit more to share your thoughts, share some comments, which I think is very nice. So let's have a look at Bitcoin. What we've been saying actually when Bitcoin broke out to the downside is that there actually is one wildcard scenario in place, and that is the dip of the falling wedge. This is actually something that we are seeing quite often with Bitcoin. This is a pattern that is quite common in Bitcoin, not so common in different assets, but Bitcoin we actually see it quite often, and it traps a lot of investors because we are seeing a breakdown. While a lot of investors are turning bearish, well actually it is a dip of the falling wedge. We're moving sideways and we shoot back into this channel. And there are multiple ways to trade this. We did it on WhaleAlerts as well. You could either catch this neckline right here, you could catch the bottom with the premium index, or you could catch the moment we broke back into the channel. So those were actually three moments you could long Bitcoin based on basically based on this strategy with that dip in that falling wedge. So what is next for Bitcoin? Well, to be honest guys, we actually kind of reached almost the target right here. The target of the wedge is the top of the wedge, but you can take the exact top right here at $25,000. But of course you can see already that right here is also quite a significant price action, right? So we don't always meet the exact top, because that would also be a place where a lot of people are going to take profits, right? But we did, I would say the target of this formation is reached, but it doesn't mean that we cannot continue to go up. I think it's definitely possible for Bitcoin to continue to go up, especially when we have a look at whaleportal, because the average funding fee, it's now turning positive, but the confirmed funding fee is still negative. The average funding fee, the predicted funding fee is turning slightly positive, but as long as this remains negative or like around the zero mark, I still think there could be some fuel left in this rally. We do see the take buy sell ratio coming down, which means people are not buying Bitcoin anymore with that premium which we had right here. This was actually a great signal guys, showing Bitcoin where to go up go up extremely. So for example right here from the 12, actually already from the 11-12 we can already see that increase, but we crossed that green line at the 12th of March at 2 o'clock in the night. So let's have a look at 12th of March, 2 o'clock in the night. Yeah, that's around here. That's when Bitcoin was already pumping, right? But we can already see earlier that this metric is going up. And this is actually the average, a smooth average from the raw data, which is basically how many people are buying or short or selling with a market order. Market order is always buying or selling with a premium, right? So if you look at these spikes, it can help you sometimes to get a nice entry on a trade. But if you only look at the average, you can just see like, okay, right now we are going up, which basically means that more and more people start to market buy, fat fingering, buying Bitcoin. When we go up like this, most of the time the price follow as well, because this is a bullish sign. The take buy sell ratio is a bullish sign. And if you want to see this metric on other websites, guys, it is possible. For example, CryptoQuant is offering this metric, but you have to pay. It is a metric, a premium metric, which actually costs money. But right here on whaleportal, we take our own data, we make the own calculation, and we provide this metric, actually all these metrics, for free. Right, we only have WhaleAlerts, which is the next step for active traders who will get extra content and automated signals based on these charts. But the charts and data itself is for free. So I think that is quite nice. Then when we zoom in on Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame, we do get kind of a bull flag formation. And that looks as follow. We have like a uptrend consolidation. So I expect Bitcoin to either break out to the upside or to the downside. If we were to break out, let's say to the upside, we have to break above 24,600. We could definitely reach 25,000 US dollars and even go to the top of that resistance level right here and maybe 26,000 US dollars. It is possible, guys. We know Bitcoin 16-year cycle. We can even break above this and go to 30K. I think it is possible. It is possible, but we first have to take it step by step. If we don't manage to break out to the upside, but we break out to the downside, we first will get a correction, maybe even fill the CME gap, right? There is some crazy stuff coming on later this month in March, and we can see that the S&P 500 still hasn't managed to break out of this formation again. So this one is still extremely bearish, if you ask me. And even we could even see something like this, where we just go a couple of days like this, and then just make another massive drop in the S&P 500. What is going to happen with Bitcoin? I would say the chances are higher that Bitcoin is going to drop as well. I do have to say, guys, that I love to see Bitcoin pumping while the S&P 500 drops. This is why Bitcoin is created, right? So I love to see that, but I want to be realistic as well. When there is panic in the S&P 500, then this small divergence between both of them, so the correlation is less, is not convincing me that that panic won't spread in Bitcoin. However, I am positioned in Bitcoin, of course. So, of course, I'm betting on Bitcoin because even though we are going to see a correction, I expect it's going to go up because we entered the time of buying. And this is something that I've been sharing for the last couple of months, guys. The moment we've entered this green zone, that is the season of buying based on time, based on the 16-year cycle. And as you can see, since we've entered the green zone, we only went up. And of course, we will have corrections now and then. That is, of course, how it goes. But this green zone will be the zone where Bitcoin generally tends to trend up with a delay till this yellow zone. And then when we've entered the red zone, we will have a most likely a multiple year bear market. So guys, this is what I'm watching, and I'm going to make it my job for every single one of you to take profits on time in the coming bull market, because this is actually, and this I've been saying in so many videos lately, it is going to be the last chance. Your very, very last chance, because you thought 2022 was a rough year when Bitcoin goes down. Well, imagine that in the magnitude of 2, 3, or maybe even 4, and the whole world going down. Right? A massive recession in the regular markets, a massive recession in the housing market, a massive recession in Bitcoin, a massive recession in literally everything. I'm tracking so many cycles that are predicting that massive recession coming up. So if you don't take profits at the right time right now, you basically will not survive those 2 years of recession, because everything will decline heavily. At least that's what I'm betting on. Because based on these cycles, a lot of cycles, when I see multiple cycles pointing out to the same thing, I've never been wrong in that. That's also why I have a lot of conviction, because I haven't always played those cycles, but I've always analyzed it because it always interests me. So I've always done this analysis, but I've not always have done do my trading based on the conviction of the time analysis. But right now, that is definitely gone, because I'm super convinced about it. So that is what I think is going to happen with Bitcoin, I still think we could see a push to the upside, especially when the funding fee would be negative. Okay, right now it's the predicted one is positive. We see the take buy sell ratio coming down slightly, so maybe we're also going to see that breakout to the downside. I would say don't assume, wait for that breakout, right? If we break out to the downside, we actually could get a further correction, right? Come back down again. Maybe we just get a small correction and then continue this uptrend. I would say as long as Bitcoin is trading within this pattern, just expect it to continue to go up. That is the most safest bet, okay? If we break down from this pattern, then okay, most likely we're going to have a further correction, and I think we are going to surpass, we could surpass these lows as well, slightly. It is a possibility, okay? But yeah, that is just when price action is proving us that that's the case, right? If we have a look at the stablecoin dominance, we just touched a little bit into that support area. We didn't really tap into it, so we still could go lower, which means Bitcoin still can go up. That's all looking quite okay. Dixie at support right now, maybe could bounce right here, which would play a role with the S&P 500 going down. I just have a hard time, guys, seeing a potential liquidation event on the S&P 500 without any effect on Bitcoin. I have a hard time imagining that. However, it is always a possibility, right? It's always a possibility. But I just want everyone to be aware of it, because if you look at your own emotions, guys, then you can see right here. I know it because I've made a lot of polls on Twitter, polls on YouTube. That's what I do, also to check the sentiment. Right here, lots of people were bullish. I was also bullish because I actually thought we were at this support, we could bounce. We got stopped out with that breakdown. But the majority of the people were bullish here. What happens? Bitcoin goes down. The majority of the people, guys, and this I can tell you with 100% certainty, were extremely bearish right here. What happens? Bitcoin just take off. So be very aware of your own emotional state. If you right now come into a position where you feel like I'm extremely bullish again, be a little bit careful, because you're not the only one. And of course, Bitcoin can always follow a sentiment for a period of time before it maybe changes. But your emotional state can actually say a lot about what others feel as well. I think that's important. Guys, that was it for today's video. If you want more information, join WhaleAlerts. You can do so by going to whaleportal.com. You go to WhaleAlerts. Right here, you sign up on Bybit. For the ones that already have a Bybit account, or the ones actually that are living in the United States, we have a separate option. Because if you are living in the United States and you cannot use Bybit, of course we still want to offer you this service. So there is a different option for you. What you need to do is you need to send an email to the blockchaintoday@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. I will reply with the steps that you can do in order to still join WhaleAlerts if you are from the United States. Okay, guys, that was it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If so, smash up that like button. If you are new, make sure to subscribe. Love you all very much, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.